So we finished reading the memoir from Brown Girl Dreaming, and now we are going to do our second read or a close read. When we do this, we kind of dive into the text a little deeper. So we go back and we reread and we kind of take notes of things that we notice. So I'm not going to do the entire text, but I do want to walk you through some of these strategies that we use. So, throughout these poems that she writes, we see that there's a few challenges and triumphs that she discusses. We see moving. So remember that she was originally from South Carolina, and she moves to Brooklyn. So she talks about that. She talks about losing a parent, and she also talks about discovering one's passions. So there's a lot of things that a lot of challenges she's talking about, and some triumphs that she has. So let's look at Brooklyn rain. The rain here is different than the way it rains in Greenville. So we know from reading her background that she was from Greenville. This was in South Carolina. I believe it was South Carolina. Let me just double check. Yep. So she's talking about where she is from. So it's different here than it was in South Carolina. No sweet smell of honeysuckle, no soft squish of pine, no slip and slide through the grass. So she uses the word no 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So we can tell or infer that because she uses this word multiple times, she's trying to emphasize that we don't have these things here in Brooklyn, New York. It's only Mama saying, "Stay inside today, it's raining." And me at the window, nothing to do but watch. The gray sidewalk grow darker. Watch. The drops slide down the glass pane. Watch. People below me move fast, heads bent. So again, there's the repetition that she has. Watch. Watch. And watch. So it's kind of showing us that maybe she's just watching. She's watching, watching, watching. So we can infer from this that she might be bored in this new place that she lives in Brooklyn. Already there are stories in my head. Already color and sound and words. Already I'm drawing circles on the glass, humming myself someplace far away from here. So she's humming herself someplace far away from here. So she's drawing circles on the glass, and thinking about someplace far away from here. And we can assume that she's talking about where she was from in South Carolina, because she says there's no sweet smell of honeysuckle, no squish of pine. So maybe she's bored. She's thinking of where she's from. Then she says, down south, there was always someplace else to go. You could step out into the rain, and Grandma would let you lift your head and stick out your tongue. Be happy. Down south already feels like a long time ago, but the stories in my head take me back there, set me down in Daddy's garden where the sun is always shining. So we can see that she repeats again down south 2 times. And when she's talking about down south, she's talking about happy moments that she had. So from Brooklyn Rain, we can kind of tell that she's moved to Brooklyn and she's bored there. She misses the place that she was from. And the author uses this repetition a lot to kind of show us that she was bored. All right, so I'm going to skip this one another way. We'll go to gifted. So here's gifted. Everyone knows my sister is brilliant. The letters come home folded neatly inside official-looking envelopes that my sister proudly hands over to my mother. Odella has achieved. Odella has excelled at. Odella has been recommended to. Odella's outstanding performance in. So again, the author is repeating her sister's name, Odella, over and over and over again. So we can assume that she is kind of a little bit jealous of Odella. So she's saying everyone knows my sister is brilliant. So maybe, and then she repeats the Odella. So maybe that's telling us, my sister, like, I wish I was brilliant like her. Like, she's envious of her. So I'm going to highlight that also. I'm going to put envious, or I'll put jealous of her sister. Because her sister is smart. Her sister is brilliant. She is gifted, we are told, and I imagine presents surrounding her. I am not gifted. So now we see the change here. She's now talking about herself. At the beginning of this, she's talking about Odella and how great she is and how smart she is. And towards the end, we see she's talking about herself. I am not gifted. So now that we can assume this might be negative. When I read, the words twist, twirl across the page. So what does that mean? The words twist, twirl. Well, to twist means to kind of turn and change, and to twirl means to kind of, just turn around, and it doesn't make sense. So we can assume that when she's reading, she can't really read the words well. It's confusing to her. So we can tell that she has a hard time reading. When they settle, it is too late. The class has already moved on. So by the time she even figures out what those words mean, so we can see that the words are confusing. I'm going to put that here as an annotation. The words are confusing. She has a hard time reading. And by the time she figures out what those words mean, it's too late. When she's in class, the class has already moved on to something else, and now she's got to figure out what those new words mean. She goes on and says, I want to catch words one day. I want to hold them, then blow gently. Watch them float right out of my hands. So she wants to be able to read well. She wants to be able to stay caught up with her class. She wants to be just like her sister. She wants people to write those notes and send them home that say that she's brilliant, she's doing a great job. She wants all of that, but she feels like she can't achieve that because she has a very difficult time reading. So she wants to be able to hold them, then blow gently. So she wants to be able to grasp these words, understand them, and then let them go. She wants to be able to read. So in gifted, we see that she is envious of her sister because her sister is brilliant. She's smart. She does well. And she's saying, I'm not. I struggle with reading, and I really wish that I could be who my sister is. I wish I could stay caught up with my class. So this is kind of how we close read. We understand our text a little bit more. We look at some of the things that the author has done. So we look at repetition. We can also look at the details. So when she says, I want to catch words one day, she uses the word catch for a specific reason. She wants to hold them and then blow gently and watch them float right out of her hands. So all of this word choice that she uses, she does specifically to help the reader think and visualize what she's trying to say. So I'm not going to close read the rest of them. I will let you pick one to close read, and you can do that on your own.